everyone, welcome to my channel, Aging Gracefully here, also known as Marianne. Well, this is just a picture of after Hurricane Sally came through the area where I live. And this was a picture of me in the process of getting my back porch ready. So this is a video on spend the day with me and a little bit about Sally. I just want to share with you a couple of things. Mostly this video is about just kind of come and spend the day with me. I'll take you along as I do my house stuff, what a normal day looks like. And for me, it's like playing ping pong. Bing, 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 bing. I do this, I get distracted over here, I get distracted over there, I make a mess over here. Usually by the end of the day, I pretty much do get it picked up. But one of the things that I also wanted to talk about was a couple of things I did during the actual time period that Hurricane Sally came through the area. It was very slow moving. It was just, I believe, what they reported 6 miles short of being a category 3. So it ended up being a 2. And it was long and loud. I've never experienced anything like that before. I've lived through blizzards. Yep, I was there during the blizzard of '78 in Ohio. I've been through tornadoes, hailstorms, bad ones, and never a hurricane. And that's it for me. I don't care if I ever experience that again. It just was hours and hours and hours of wind, but wind that I was not familiar with. Sometimes it sounded like there was a jet plane circling the house. Sometimes it sounded like a train. Sometimes it, I guess, howled, but was so weird sounding. And just the stuff hitting, I guess, the house at times, and then the guards that you put over your windows flapping in the wind. And I did try to open my back kitchen door to my enclosed screened-in porch, and I couldn't get the door open because of the wind, because you can't see anything out your windows. But I just wanted to, so couldn't do that. And it was just the noise. And my daughter-in-law was so good about texting me, are you okay? Are you okay? Every now and then she would be able to get, a report in that says, okay, it's this far away or that far away. And then they lost electricity, and then we couldn't text very easily. And we lost our electricity about 4 hours after they had lost theirs. And, and then at one point I was just so exhausted and so tired and so stressed out about just hearing the wind, and I kept, I was praying, and I had a lot of calm with the praying, and I was reading, and I was just changing my position to where I was at, from my bedroom to the living room, and praying and praying and praying that my mom wouldn't wake up, because she's deathly afraid of storms, thunder, lightning. Just, I think she has flashbacks of World War II, and just deathly afraid. And thank heavens, without your hearing aids on, you can't hear very well. So she slept all night, all through it, or she would have driven me like even crazy. But I read, and I've been reading the series of Laura Ingalls, and I think to myself, wow, I just happened to be reading the part about their Minnesota winters, and how, some of those people literally froze to death, and how difficult it was for them to go from their little prairie house out to where the animals were to milk or feed them, and they could come back in totally frozen and no electricity, and oh my gosh. And so sitting in the dark with no electricity, at one point my daughter-in-law said, I just was able to get a report, and basically the eye of the storm is going to be here shortly. And I was like, what?
What do you mean the eye of the storm is going to be here shortly? Isn't it here? Isn't this? And she's like, no, it hasn't hit landfall yet. I was like, oh. So then I know at one point I had texted her and I'm like, okay, how much longer is this going to go on? And basically this was like at maybe 4:35 in the morning, and she said it should start to pass and calm by about 9. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I did keep myself busy reading, and I just realized how spoiled I am, how easy life is, how I take for granted so much of what we do every day. Turn the knob on to get running water, flick the light switch to have light and electricity. And I don't know how many times I went somewhere to do something and I was just like, oh, okay, I can't use my microwave because I don't have electricity. Hot water doesn't last. We have running water, but you know, that hot water starts to go away and your showers get colder and colder, but at least we have a shower inside the house. And so many things. And as I was reading, and these things are being pointed out to me during this time period of a week or 5 days, whatever it was, without electricity, and still took me a while after electricity came on to walk into a room and turn the lights on, because I got so used to going around with flashlights and just being used to being in the dark at night that, oh, I forgot we have electricity now. But reading at the same time some of the stories in the Laura Ingalls Wilder series, it was just like, wow. Going across the prairie in a wagon and having to cross over a river that's swelling, and you know, your wagon is practically floating away, your horses are drowning. And I mean, you just stop and think, oh my gosh, we are a very, very blessed generation. We are in a very blessed time, as awful as the outside world seems right now. We have a lot of good. There's a lot of good things that I think it just becomes second nature for us, and sometimes we just forget. So I was so happy when the electricity came back on, and when I could take a warm shower, and just so blessed that nothing more came of it. So I do hope that you're going to enjoy this little get put together that I did to spend my day, and just a little bit that I'm going to share with you about my experience with Hurricane Sally. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I promise I'm going to get my autumn house tour video up just as soon as I can. I'm still playing catch up from last week, but I'm getting there slowly but surely.
Good morning, guys. You know what? I decided I'm going to make this a real video. Like, real. No makeup, you know, out of bed, washed face. Just let's start the day. So this is really what my day starts like and begins like. So let me flip you around and show you. So, of course, unmade bed. Pillows on the floor. Have to do some med organizing. Haven't taken care of the night bedstand yet. And just got up and started a billion different things. Okay, so sorting laundry. Yep, tons of laundry to do. Goodwill clothes going. Gotta package that up. Vanity from yesterday. Just kind of, messy. Didn't do anything. Yep. Bathroom hasn't been touched yet. And, open drawer because I'm charging all of my components because we're expecting some tropical storm things. So I'm gathering stuff over there. I haven't even done a video complete yet of my house tour, so I don't want to, you know, spoil that. But did some breakfast fixing, so have that going on here, trying to clean up. Cleaned out the refrigerator. I'm like a ping pong. I'm all over the place. Granite needs to be polished today. And what did I do? I opened this cupboard here to get something out, and voila, decided, okay, it needs to be totally clean. Did a little bit of sewing yesterday, and I still have to put my sewing machine away. I'm going to be doing a little painting on that stand back there. Haven't done that. I don't want to spoil it and show you my house because I haven't done my house tour yet, but I just want to be real and show you that I have the TV on. I'm watching an old movie. Not because I'm sitting down to watch it. Oh, sorry. But because I am waiting to just be on alert for weather, and I just kind of want to hear what some of the news is on that. But I have lots and lots to do today, but some days it's like this. I feel like I'm a ping pong. I go from here, and I'm doing laundry on top of it. Strip down the bed in my mom's room for my mom. Have that going on, and a simple little thing such as I'm going to walk over to show you. My husband hung this nifty little hanger that I got at our local antique mall. I just thought it was cute, old and rustic, and I still, as of yet, hadn't even filled it to put a candle in. Because why? Because I've just been scatterbrainy and I have a lot to do. So I'm going to kind of take you along at different spots today and just let's see how far I get without creating much more of a disaster. So I'm going to start out today by doing some sorting and laundry, a few extra loads because I am a bit behind. I don't know how I got behind, but I just did. And then I'm going to put the clothes away. And I went to get some object out of this little cupboard, and look, I just decided, well, I guess I'm just going to sit here and clean out this cupboard and rearrange some of what I had in it to put it into my Hoosier. And then I decided the basket was a mess, so I'm going to refold. These are old aprons, and I do tend to slip them on sometimes, but they're my mom's and my grandmother's aprons, and just some napkins, and get that all tidied up. And then I decided I'm going to switch some of the contents in the drawers to another little sewing table that I have by my dining room table, and I'm going right there rearrange what's in those drawers and just go through everything. It all started because I decided I needed to go through my batteries and get all of my extra electronics charged up because of the threat of Hurricane Sally. So one thing leads to another. I had no intentions of doing this today, but that's where it led me, and that's what I refer to as ping-ponging around. Okay, so now we're under a hurricane warning, not a watch, a warning. So I am moving everything from outside to inside, and I just got done putting my cute little porch together, but I'm in the process of doing that because I don't want my plants to blow all over. I guess the winds and the rains are going to be pretty fierce, so that's what I'm going to do now. Pretty much got everything in. It's not a lot, but I just decided to bring it in because my geraniums, they still will give me some pretty blooms through November, and it has blown over before with just normal winds, so I brought everything in and we'll see how it goes. Come on, puppy. It's so humid that air actually feels kind of good. Interruptions. So I am continuing on. I am going to make it over to the bedroom because this is still all a mess. I did get a shipment in from Amazon, and it's some candles, which I'm sure I'm going to need. And there's my clean laundry that needs to be folded. I'm going to put some laundry away, and then I'm going to head over into the bedroom, and I'm going to make the bed. And let's see, what time is it that I'm making the bed? 10 after 12? Or is that 2 o'clock? My gosh, it's 10 after 12, and I'm making the bed. Yeah, well, some days just go like that. It's like some days I feel so scattered. Like, you know, I just ping-pong. And I just got into this drawer thing because my drawers were driving me crazy. I sit at the dining room table, and that's kind of what I use as my sort of little office when I'm paying bills and all that stuff. Because if I go into the extra bedroom where it's the spare room and I have it set up as an office, then I get interrupted by my mom because that's her pod area back there, and it's constant. So I stay out here and do my thing. Yeah. So let's get this bed made. Most days, though, I do try to make my bed first thing in the morning because, like I have always stated, it's that one task that gets done, and it just puts that room in order quickly and easily. I like to add my reading material at the end of my bed as a reminder as to what I'm reading. And here I'm listening pretty intently to the news reports, tropical storm, possible hurricane, not quite sure as of yet. Opening a box of candles that I just received from Amazon. I know I'm going to use those, so put them away in a handy place. And next, going for a cup of joe, much needed, still have tons to do, and this will help. I guess my way of thinking is you have to make a mess in order to clean up a mess, but sometimes I just get distracted and I just kind of bounce around. I think the good thing about me, though, is like right there, I was talking to Alexa, put some music on. Maybe it helps me concentrate better. It just makes the tasks of doing dishes and cleaning up go just a little bit faster. But, you know, it's okay. I think as you do get older, you might make more messes as you're going along. I think for me as a homemaker, I kind of get excited when I look at a project and say, oh, these drawers need to be cleaned. And then the good feeling that I feel when they finally get cleaned. So here I'm just kind of doing a quick wipe down and collecting the garbage and just cleaning up. And eventually it does get done. It just might not be in an orderly fashion of how I accomplish it, but I do get it done. There I'm polishing up my granite countertops, as they do need to be polished quite frequently, and just continuing on. Now you'll see I started washing dishes, then I polished, then I went back to washing dishes, because as I'm going along I'm picking up a few more things along the way. And I think my last task of the day probably is just making sure everything is picked up off of the floors, and I'm sure, there we go. I get my handy dandy vacuum, and it's a Dyson. I love it. It's my stick vac. I use it 2 or 3 times a day, seriously. Well guys, that pretty much is going to cover it for right now, because my storm watch is a warning now, and it's tropical, hurricane-ish activity. So as I've been preparing, bringing things inside, I have a little more to do, and I've got flashlights to make sure that I have good batteries in, and just get my candles situated and settled, because I think it's going to be a little rough. Anyways, I'm going to fold laundry that came out of the dryer. I'm going to clean this mess up here, put it away, but I'm pretty satisfied with what I've gotten done so far. Still have a little bit more to do. Good morning, everybody. I never expected that my video would end this way, but it is the next morning and I am here with, nothing on my face. That's what I'm wearing, and my Nordstrom PJs, but I wanted to come on and my video did not end the way I had planned. I had planned to film a little bit of painting my coat rack stand that I use to hang my cast iron skillets on, but I'm under a tropical, really bad hurricane warning, storming, and things just kind of changed really fast. I did work yesterday on getting my candles and my batteries all changed and all my equipment charged up and just preparing for that. But this activity kind of went from a category 1 to a 3 really fast, and had to put up hurricane shutters, which I've never had to do before. My husband, of course, just left on Sunday, and I'm like, okay, great. So I just kept watching in the neighborhood, and I called my son and I said, are you putting your shutters up? He goes, we were just thinking about that because this thing is changing now. And so he said, I'm going to start mine, get them up, and then I'll be over to help you. And I was like, oh my gosh. And my husband's like, don't go get them. They're in the attic. They're heavy. And you know what? I just had to put on my Laura Ingalls Courage. I've talked to you before about I'm reading the Laura Ingalls books that she originally wrote for children. And of course, most of us know the story from the series, Little House on the Prairie. But what they went through during their lifetime and the courage that they had living out in the prairie and the woods and the wilderness and everything that they came encounter with. I'm like, I can go up this attic and I can get those shutters down. Just do it. And somehow I was able to do it because those window shutters are heavy. They came in 2 big duffel bags and I got them down. So at least I felt like I was at least starting to help. And then I went outside. I brought the bags and took everything out, and I was like, okay, how do you do this? So then I kind of looked over at my neighbor's house and I was watching the window, and right before that though, I thought I'm going to call my next door neighbor and send her a text and say, hey, is Dan putting up your window shutters? And then I just decided I got to get my mom's dinner ready. I did that, and she had sent me a text and said, listen, we're putting our shutters up. If you need help, I know you're there alone. Dan will come over when he's done. And I was like, thank you so much. So in the meantime, I went out, checked it out to see, well, what could I do to help? Because I don't know anything about putting these on. And then my other neighbor came over and he said, listen, if you need help, I'll help you. I said, thank you. I said, Dan said he'd be right over when he finished his house. And so he walked me over to his window, to my window, and he said, okay, you got to take those caps off and take the little white rubber cups that are on the screw bolts on the top, and then you just hang your shutters that way. And you start at your front door, that's shade number 1, and you work your way towards the right around the house. Oh, okay. So at least I knew I could go around the brick parameter of the windows and pull all those, unscrew all those caps. That's a lot of work. I had to get a ladder up and down, but I thought if I'm getting help to do this, at least he can come to the window. I'll have the shade in front of it and he can just hang it and screw them in. So I was very grateful for both of my neighbors offering to help, and we got them up, and yeah, that's where we sit right now. So it looks like it's coming right towards my area, and praying that, just for a hedge of protection around our homes, and that we'll make it through and be safe. So I didn't get to finish my video the way I really wanted to. I just wanted to show you that there are days that you can get things done, and it just might not go in that neat sequential order that you think about in your mind. I mean, yesterday I did laundry, I cleaned the kitchen, I made breakfast, lunch, and got dinner ready.
I charged up all my equipment, changed my batteries and my flashlights, put a little emergency kit together, and gathered everything in one bag just in case I have to act quickly. At least I know I have all my chargers and, everything that I need. And yeah, that's what I did yesterday. And I kept thinking, I'm not getting anything done. I'm not getting anything done. I mean, I actually didn't get the bed made until noon. That never happens. I usually just get up and start my day that way. But even though it was just kind of like this revolving door of ping-ponging, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And at one spot, I looked around and went, oh my gosh, I got a mess here, I got a mess there, because then I opened a drawer to do something, and I was like, okay, I got to clean this drawer out, which led to this drawer. You know what? I need to switch these around and blah, blah, blah. And I just think it was the anxiety of not knowing what was going to go on with the hurricane tropical issues going on, and just like trying to keep myself occupied and busy. So I still got stuff done. So what if it didn't go according to my daily planner and check this off? It was just do what you need to do and get done. So I hope to see you again. I hope I don't get blown away. So I guess this is how I'm going to end this video. So it's the next evening, Tuesday. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. Is today Tuesday? No, I think it's Wednesday. I've lost track of time. It is Wednesday morning at 3 o'clock. I'm in the middle of a hurricane category 2. My first hurricane that I've ever been in. Don't care to be in one again. Can't even imagine what it would be like to be in a 4 or a 5. I don't know if the video will pick up the sound, but it is loud. Oh my gosh. The wind is just like whirl whipping. And the house is making noises like, I wonder if the video will pick up the sound. It's loud. I have no electricity, but morning will be here soon. I can't really sleep right now, so I decided to come into the living room, and I'm reading Little House on the Prairie books and listen if I can go through all their drama living out in the frontier. I guess I can go through this. At least I'm in my home. Hasn't blown away. And I'm praying that it doesn't. So I'm trying to make the best of a not so good situation. And hopefully my electricity will get turned on. I hope. I hope it's not days. If it is, it is, I guess. But, yeah. So I'm going to read by my battery light. And hopefully I can drift away, get sleepy, because it's loud. Really kind of reminds me of like a really bad winter storm where the wind howls and whips. It's not really howling, but it is whipping against the house. Yeah, and I can't really see outside. So, anyway, now I'm going to officially end this video. Stay safe. Good night. And I'm thankful to God that we made it through. And this is the next morning. I swept the leaves, the billions of leaves that stuck to my screen. This is the patio, and the crock's full of water. Little bit of the leaves left, and I started to move things outside. There are some of the limbs
fixing a good pot of potato cheddar soup because it makes everything all right. And it's yummy too.
So until next time, be kind, be humble, and age gracefully. Bye.